Hi guys, welcome to a tutorial on Goats in Trees by Foster the People. So I had a few of you get in touch and asked to do this song, and I thought great, nice easy strumming acoustic song. Now I've decided to play this on my Prechorus hollow body. It's got piezo in the bridge, so it does sound a bit more like an acoustic. Basically I've not used it in a while and I'm the boss, so I decided I'm going to use this instead of the acoustic, but all of this is still going to work on your acoustic guitars. So there's a few guys already doing covers on YouTube where you can see them using chords like B, A minor, G. That's fine, it does sound very close, but I was looking for live versions of the song, and there's one where you can see Mark Foster on his own strumming an acoustic, and you can just about make out where he is on the neck. And you'll notice he's actually quite high up the neck. So I think I figured out what's going on, and what you need to do is drop D your guitar. So that's where you take the thick string and tune it down to a D, like that. Okay, so if you're not confident doing it like that, you can always use your tuner. So what we'll do now is get in close and I'll show you what I figured out. Alright, so the first section we need to play is the verse. Now just before we get into that, I want to talk for a second about the rhythm. He uses the same kind of strumming pattern throughout the whole song, and whilst you can vary it, you can get away with just using this one strumming pattern. It will sound pretty close. So this is what it's going to sound like. Okay, I'll do it with the chord. So the count for that is 1, 2, 3 and 4 and what I'm doing is I'm going down, 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 up, down, up. Now you'll probably notice as well that I'm hitting some of those notes harder. What I'm doing is what's called accenting the backbeat. Now all that means is out of the 4 beats that you tap your foot along to, I'm going to be hitting beats 2 and beats 4 a little bit harder, so you get this kind of sound. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So whatever chord you're on, you're going to try and get that feel. Okay. So this is what the verse is going to sound like. Okay, so you see I was varying the strumming pattern a little bit there, but overall you've got that kind of feel driving through it. The first chord is a B major. We're up at the 9th fret, and I'm using my first finger to bar across the thickest 2 strings. So it's going 9, 9, and then my little finger's on fret 13 of the D string. After a bar of that, we're going to drop down to the 7th fret to an A minor chord. So that is 7, 7, and then we've got 10 with a little finger. And then we're going to keep going down. Fret 5 this time, so this is a G major, 5, 5, 9. And then we're going to turn it into what's called a G sus2. You don't need to worry about what that means. All you've got to do is drop this top note down 2 frets to a 7. So now it's 5, 5, 7. You can either use your 3rd finger for this, or you can move your 4th finger down. So that's the first 4 bars, they sound like this. Okay, so the next chord is a D chord, but what you're going to do is you're playing it at the 5th fret on the A string with your first finger, and then you want your 3rd finger on the D string. We're going to mute this G string, and the way I'm going to do it is use my 3rd finger, just be a bit lazy with it and let it just touch, let it droop down and touch that G, and as long as it touches it, it can't ring out, so you get a clicking note. Now be careful not to actually hold it down, because then you will get a note. We just want a mute. And then finally, my 4th finger is playing fret 7 on the B string. So we've got 3 notes and a mute. So same rhythm. And then we're going to move our first finger back onto the thick string and bar again. So we've gone back to that G sus2 chord. So it's 5, 5, 7. Now we're going to turn it into an F sharp minor by taking our first finger back 1 fret. So that's 4, 4, 7. And then we stay on this chord a little bit longer. So it's going to sound like this. And then we're going to come back up to our G sus2. Okay, so that half of the verse sounds like this. Okay, and from the start, nice and slow. Now on the live version he uses that all the way through, but if you listen to the album closely he does actually have an alternate version of it where he changes the last chord. So rather than going back up to the 5th fret, what he does is he goes from this F sharp minor down to an E major chord. So this is fret 2, I'm barring 2, 2 and then reaching up with my little finger to fret 6. And like I say, it just replaces the last chord. So the alternate verse sounds like this. Okay, let's move on to the next section. So we've got the pre-chorus. Now it's a lot simpler than the verse. We only need 2 chords to play this. E minor, so that's on the 2nd fret, fret 2, 2, and then fret 5 with your little finger, and then the same chord shape moved up 2 frets, which is an F sharp minor. So you play the first chord for 3 bars. And then move up for the last bar. So the whole thing will sound like this. Okay, let's move on to the chorus. Okay, we just need 3 chords to play the chorus. We've got a D major, but it's a slightly different shape this time from the one we use in the verse. So I just need my first finger, fret 4 on the D string, so I'm playing 0, 0, 4. So it's 2 bars of that, and then we're going to move to this, which is our G sus2, so it's fret 5, 5, 7 for 1 bar, and then I'm going to move my first finger back 1 fret to make it that F sharp minor again for 1 bar. So the whole thing sounds like this. Now the next section I've called the bridge on the PDF, but really it's just a very small joining section that you hear later on in the song. So what you've got is G major, so this is fret 5, 5 and then 9 with a little finger, and I'm going to play this for 3 bars. Now I'm going to move the shape up 2 frets. So I'm starting out fret 7, 7, 7, 11, so this is an A major now, for 1 more bar. So the whole thing sounds like this. And that's it, nice and simple. Last section we've got is the outro. So he doesn't even play this on the live version I saw, but I'm going to show you it anyway. It is on the record, so if you just want to play along with the record, you'll have fun. Now the first chord's quite interesting. It starts off live as the B chord we had right at the start of the verse. So that was 9, 9, 13. Then what you're going to do next is you're going to try and mute the G string. So you can either use your 4th finger or your 1st finger to do this, but either way what you're trying to do is just make a little bit of contact with the string but not hold it down. Now what that will do is it will stop it ringing out. Now if I actually hold it down, I'll get a note, and we don't want that. So it's quite subtle, you've got to experiment with it until you get that nice clicking sound, which you won't notice when you're strumming the chord. And then what we can do is we use our 3rd finger to play fret 11 on the B string. So I've got 9, 9, 13, mute, 11. Now that makes it a B major 7 chord. You don't really need to worry about what that means if you're not sure what 7th chords are yet, as long as you can play it. Bit of a fiddly chord, but it's worth the effort. So what he does is he plays this for 1 bar, and then we're going to drop down to our G sus2 chord again, which is 5, 5, 7, and then we're going to move back up to the B for the last 2 bars. Okay, so all together. And what I did as I moved, rather than changing to a different finger in different shapes, I tried to keep my hand shape similar and just kind of squeeze it down a little bit. I've still got my 3rd finger, it's not touching now, but it's just hovering ready to play, so that when I come back up, I can just drop it down and get that note again. So this will help you play through it quicker. Now if you go onto the PDF, you'll see the arrangement of the song, so how to put all those sections together to play along with it. So I hope you have fun, enjoy it.